Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really big idea. How do we design things, everything, from buildings to websites, so they work better for every single person out there? Let's get right into it.
So let me start by asking you this. Just think about it for a second. What if a doorknob, or a piece of software, or a website just worked? For everyone. No special instructions, no need for workarounds. That's the powerful concept we're digging into.
And this idea, it has a name: universal design. Now, the key phrase here, the one I really want you to hear, is without the need for adaptation or specialized design. This isn't about making a separate, special version of something for some people. No, it's about making one single smart design that works for everybody right from the get-go.
Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a pretty tall order, right? Making one thing that works for literally everyone? Well, luckily, there's a framework, a set of principles to guide us, and they all fit into one simple, easy-to-remember acronym. And here it is: SAFE PI. Yep, just like it sounds. It might seem a little goofy, but trust me, it's a super useful way to remember how to build things that are more inclusive for all.
So, what's in the SAFE PI? Let's break it down. The S is for simple and intuitive use. A is for error tolerance, which basically means the design is forgiving if you make a mistake. F is for flexible use. E is for equitable use, making sure it's useful for people with all kinds of different abilities. Then we've got P for perceptible information, I for low physical effort, and that last E stands for having the right size and space, so anyone can approach and use it.
Okay, let's make this real. For that first one, simple and intuitive use, just picture a power button. You don't need a user manual for that, right? The design is clear, it's consistent everywhere, and it just works, no confusion.
And once you start looking, you see these principles everywhere. For equitable use, think about a building that has a ramp right next to the stairs. Both paths are treated as equally important. For low physical effort, a lever handle on a sink is way easier for anyone to use than a knob you have to grip and twist. And for error tolerance? Well, the guardrails on that ramp are a perfect example. They make the consequences of a misstep a lot less serious.
All right, so that makes sense for buildings and physical gadgets. We can see it, we can touch it, but how does this whole philosophy carry over to the digital world? You know, the websites and the apps we're on all day long.
And this is a super important distinction. Universal design is the big, overarching philosophy for, well, everything. Web accessibility is how we specifically put that philosophy into practice online. It's the how-to for achieving universal design on the web.
And hey, just like we had SAFE PI for the physical world, we've got another handy acronym to guide us in the digital world. This one is POUR.
POUR breaks down into the four main pillars of web accessibility. Is the information perceivable, meaning can people take it in with things like captions or text alternatives? Is the interface operable, especially for someone who can't use a mouse? Is everything understandable, clear, predictable, no weird jargon? And finally, is it robust enough to work with all kinds of technologies like screen readers?
Now here's the best part. You don't have to be some kind of coding genius or have a bunch of expensive software to start making a real difference. You can do some basic checks yourself right now on any website.
So I'm going to walk you through four super simple do-it-yourself checks that anyone can do. We've got the keyboard test, the contrast check, the alt text check, and the structure check. Ready?
First up, let's test for operability. I want you to literally put your mouse away. Just use the Tab key to move forward and Shift plus Tab to go backward. Can you get to every single thing you can click on? Every link, every button, every form? If you can't get to it with your keyboard, then neither can someone who relies on one.
Next, let's talk perceivability. Can people actually read the text on your site? This is obviously critical for anyone with low vision, but let's be honest, it helps all of us when we're trying to read a phone screen in the bright sun. Here's a cool little trick. Take a screenshot of your site and just turn it black and white. If any of your text gets hard to read or disappears, your color contrast probably isn't strong enough.
Okay, what about images? The secret ingredient here is something called alt text. It's a little description tucked into the code that a screen reader reads out loud. And the absolute best way to think about it is this. How would you describe that image to someone on the phone? If you can say it simply and clearly, that's perfect alt text.
And finally, we've got understandability. See, someone using a screen reader can't just glance at a page to see the layout. They navigate through the code. So using headings correctly, one main H1 for the title, then H2s for major sections, H3s for subsections, it's like giving them a roadmap. It lets them skim the page and jump right to the part they need.
And all of this, everything we've talked about, it all comes back to one simple, powerful idea. The number one. The goal is never to build two different experiences, one for this group and one for that group. It's to build one single unified experience that's just fundamentally better for everyone.
Because at the end of the day, this is not just about checking a box or following a rule. It's a complete shift in mindset. Think about this: curb cuts on sidewalks. They were originally designed for people in wheelchairs. But who else uses them? Parents with strollers, travelers with rolling luggage, delivery people, kids on skateboards, everyone. Accessible design is simply better design, period.
So I'll leave you with this challenge. Look at the world around you, your website, your workspace, even the coffee maker in your kitchen. What's one small thing you can change today to make it just a little more universal, a little more accessible, and a little bit better for everyone?